What's up, y'all? Elise Smith here, and welcome to the Socially Awesome Podcast. I'm so excited to be bringing this first episode to you today. My mic arrived this week. I did not have starting a podcast on my dream board until October, but you know what? In perfect action, I know I needed to get it done before I lost my nerve, right? And I apologize if the sound quality is bad or there's an echo. I noob here did not order a headphone set, and none of the headphones that I actually have will plug into my mic. But you know what? We're going to get this first episode out there because I can learn and grow from there, right? So imperfect action, once again, you feel me on that, right? So my goal is to produce 10-minute or less episodes that will help you build your brand online, okay? And a little bit about me. I'm a mompreneur of 3, an autism mom, hence the misspelling of the word awesome in my brand name. I'm an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer marketer, and I own a social media marketing agency. And I'm tired thinking about all that. But again, my goal is to empower the tired AF mom to monetize her social media and build that life of freedom. And if you've ever had a conversation with a successful mompreneur, she will tell you she started for the money, she stayed for the freedom. Because let's all just be honest, the working world is not built for us working moms these days, right? Now, I work for myself now, so I get to determine my schedule, but I remember, and no shame or no shade on any company out there, because owning a business isn't easy and they have to make decisions. But I remember there being times where I had to choose between going to a doctor's appointment with my child or going to a meeting. And got to have a job, right? Got to have income. So I always had to choose the work. And I got tired of that. So I got inspired earlier this year, and I'll probably do an entire episode a little bit more about us being an autism family so that you can relate to me. And if you're going to be spending time with me each week, I want you to know more about me and I want to know more about you. So, but today I promised to do an episode, and I also made a promise to keep it under 10 minutes. So I know all the people in real life that know me in real life that are listening to this are secretly laughing because I am very long-winded, but I want to come to you and talk to you about branding because I have a passion for branding. And for September, I'm going to bring episodes to you with little bits and pieces of building your brand kit, okay? Now, there is so much more involved in branding than just a brand kit. Okay, you've got your mission, your values, your voice, your personality, all of those things combined. And I do have something for you. I have a Build a Brand workshop. It's only $27. It's a steal. It is such a steal, but I'm bringing it to my audience September 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to help all of my followers and all the people that are inside my private community to help them get their brand aligned and level it up, okay? Now, in that workshop, we are not going to be doing your typical training where you listen to me talk. That workshop is get a babysitter, call your mama, get your laptop out, let's do some work together. It is a working workshop, but it's so exciting. But to be prepared for the workshop, you need to have a brand kit ready because in that workshop, we are doing leveling up things. We're going to do intro, outro videos for YouTubes, how to make reels in Canva, how to make the like thumbnails and things like that for all of your videos. So you really already need your brand kit ready to come into that workshop. So I'm doing podcast episodes for the next few weeks to get you prepared for that. So today we're talking all about colors. And like I said, your brand is so much more than what you see. However, people tend to buy with their eyes. So the visual pieces of your brand are very important in your early stages. So why does brand colors matter? Well, in the words of Pablo Picasso, colors, like features, follow the changes of emotions. So when I say the word love, an emotion, you automatically think of red or pink, right? When I say danger, you think of red. There are emotions that you have that are associated with colors. So what emotions do you want to evoke in your audience? Do you want them to see you as someone that is affordable, regal, playful, cheerful, optimistic? Or do you want them to see you as someone that is bold and serious and edgy? You have to think about the personality of your brand. So where do you use these colors, right? Well, you're going to use them in things like your logo. That's probably the biggest place you're going to use it in the beginning. You need a logo. Think about the history of branding, right? So branding started back with cattle. Farmers branded their cows so that if it wandered onto someone else's property, they knew where to return it. They knew who it belonged to. I can scroll my feed on Instagram or Facebook and run across a graphic and not even have to look and see who posted it because I know people's content based on their brand colors, their brand in general, right? So that's what you need to do. You need to sell it with your eyes first. So you want your audience to be able to recognize your content without even having to read the words. You want to evoke that emotion without even them having to read the words. And that's what's going to stop the scroll on social media, right? So your logo, think about, and I'll give you a couple examples here. Think about fast food restaurants, McDonald's, Sonic, Wendy's, In-N-Out Burger. They all use two very infamous colors in the fast food industry, red and yellow. Red signifies passion very, very often. So like we talked in the beginning, love, passion. Yellow signifies action a lot of times. It can also signify optimism, cheerful, but there's a whole psychology behind the color wheel. So if I put red and yellow together, I'm passionately taking action, meaning as I'm driving by, I see a McDonald's, I'm just going to make a quick split-second decision and pull over and get a hamburger. I might not have even been hungry, but it evoked that action and emotion in me. So that is what you need to do. You need to do some discovery on what personality you want your brand to signify. You'll also use your branding colors in your website, your storefront, whether it be brick and mortar or an online store, your social media feed. That's my storefront, my social media feed. Your uniform. So whether you have staff members that wear uniforms or the colors that you wear, when you're going live on Facebook, you want to be wearing your brand colors so that people automatically can relate and it's cohesive, right? And your advertisements, of course, are so important. So how do you determine your brand identity? Well, choosing your brand colors can be easy if you know what you're trying to communicate. So the formula is typically, what are you trying to communicate? Your audience, who are you communicating it to? And then you'll discover your colors from there. So I'll give you a couple examples here, okay? So red, we already talked a lot about red and a little bit about yellow, but take a color like blue. Blue is often associated with health and wellness because it's relaxing, it evokes calmness, loyalty, trustworthiness, all of those things. But it's also very commonly associated with tech world. And it depends upon the complementary colors, which will evoke what people signify with it. So a tech company would probably match blue with black, right? Makes it seen, makes it bold. It's got that loyalty. You can trust us with your technology needs, but it's bold. It's action taking. Whereas health and wellness, you won't usually see black. You'd see more shades of blue or maybe a complementary color in there like an off-white or even depending upon the company, it might be a very light green or a light pale pink, or you're not going to see those bold colors as much because it's supposed to be something that relaxes you. Black is also associated with elegance and sophistication, which pulls back into the technology, right? So you need to really think about what emotions you're wanting to evoke in people. And that should lead you to your color schemes, right? So one of the early steps in building a brand, determining your personality, determining who your avatar is, put those two things together and build your brand colors. Last thing when determining your brand colors is you want to have in your kit 3 to 5 different colors. Now, some brands go as many as 10 colors. I don't recommend doing that until you have an established identity, because then you start to look like Skittles, right? When you have a very established identity and a very large audience, you can do that because they're already used to seeing your signature colors. I recommend getting a signature color. For me, I started with like a turquoise, And I actually chose a monochromatic scheme. And you can Google color schemes, or you can always join my free community where I give tips and tricks, and I'm happy to communicate with you different color schemes. I do brand kits all the time. I actually put some testimonials in my free community recently that I did for some solopreneurs. But monochromatic scheme means I have about 5 colors that are on the same side of the color wheel. So for me, you're going to see like a light blue, an aqua, a turquoise, a teal. They're all going to be in that blue, almost green shades. But then I've got someone that I just did, like Leanne Shari, giving Leanne a shout out. I just did her brand kit, and she chose a super bold pink and a super bold blue. They're opposite ends of the spectrum, but it looks phenomenal. So pick your signature color. For her, it was blue. And then choose complementary colors from there based on what color scheme you want. If you want an opposite scheme, if you want a monochromatic scheme, if you want a tripod scheme, which is like 3 colors on 3 different, they make almost like a triangle on the color wheel. So you really need to make that decision and get something. And you can always change it. Okay. That's the best part of owning your own brand. You can pivot and make changes at any point in time. Just get started. And if you don't know where to start, reach out to me. You can find me on social. You can get in my free community and get tips and tricks. But if you're not branding, why? Why are you not branding? So I would love to invite you to be in my Build a Brand workshop, but you're going to need to have your brand kit ready. So I have some offers for that. I'd be happy to chat with you on that. I'll help you get started. But that's all I have for today. I know I went a little over 10 minutes, but I wanted to make sure that I give you a little bit about me. You'll hear a lot more about me, but I want to hear about you. So if this was helpful, please subscribe and leave me a review. That is the absolute best compliment you can give, especially to someone on their first episode. But I'd also love if you took a screenshot of you watching this and tag me in your stories on Facebook or Instagram. My username is @Elise1Smith. I'll give you a shout out as well. And that's the best way to build your brand, is to get in front of other people's audiences. I have about 15,000 followers on Facebook, almost 30,000 on TikTok. My Instagram is slower growing than my other 2, but that's how you build your brand. You get in front of other people's audiences, and you can do that by taking a screenshot and tagging me in your story. So my last invitation to you is I would love it if you would join Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs, which is my private Facebook community where I go live weekly. I work one-on-one with a lot of the entrepreneurs in there to help them build that brand and monetize their social media, building that life of freedom. So don't forget to make it simple, make it social, make it awesome, and check the show notes for all the links. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see y'all next week.